You're watching Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards.
Welcome back to Outdoors Delmarva. The relationship between hunters and farmers has never been more critical. And when it comes to crop preservation, well, sometimes it just pays off to get out there and hunt.
The idea behind this is that it's not only just to get the hunters excited about getting out there and getting something, not just a deer, but also pretty big payday. We're doing this in order to help facilitate the farmers based upon what you told me.
Yeah, based on the crop damage. Crop damage is getting worse every year. Very severe, and we feel like we don't get much help at the state level, but this is one tool we could use to try to reduce the population a little bit, and we give back to the community with the donation to the food bank.
So the deer that aren't claimed by the hunter, let's say he goes out and he gets his doe and he checks it in, he's like, I'm good, I don't need that meat. Yes. That gets donated to the food bank.
Yes.
Is that per county?
Yeah, each county, each second station have people that would take the donated deer, and then they're going to the processors. So
now this year, how many years have we been doing this?
We've done it 2019, 2020. With COVID, we had to cut it out for 21 and 22.
Okay.
And this is our first year back, so it's kind of like starting all over again.
Gotcha. And before it was Somerset, Wycomico, Worcester County. And
yes, correct.
This year you've added Dorchester County.
Yeah.
Okay. What made Dorchester finally say, hey, you know what, we want to be a part of this?
Deer pressure. Yeah. Crop damage pressure. They're pretty bad sick of deer problem in that county. So they wanted to jump on board, and I think we have a couple more counties maybe interested in joining us in the coming years.
So this is really kind of a spreading problem then?
Yes, yeah. Everybody thinks they're the only one that has the problem, but we look across the fence and everybody else is dealing with it too.
Now, the payday for a hunter coming in and checking in a deer, it could be $1,000 in their pocket.
Yes.
That's pretty good payday.
Yeah. I hope it excites some people and get them participating, and it did. We had a pretty good turnout.
I know that I went out Saturday night in Pittsville and stopped by the Longhorn Butcher Shop, and there was quite a few that were rolling in between the hours of 5 and 7 during that check-in window. So yeah, I think a lot of people were excited about that. Not just to get out there during the last weekend of hunting season, but also the possibility that they could be walking away with $1,000 tonight.
Yeah, it gives them a chance to put some money in their pocket and help somebody out too.
Now, where does that money come from?
Donated by a couple ag businesses, a handful of ag businesses, Maryland grain producers, Maryland soybean board, and area farmers. The area farmers have really stepped up big this year and donated quite a bit of money.
So this is such a big problem that they're willing to put their own money out there on the table and say, please help us out.
Yes.
How do you measure the effect that this has had with the population growth and with the crop damage?
It's going to be hard to measure. That's a very good question. The only thing we can do is monitor the damage in the future and what we see as far as head count. It takes very little the population away from what's already there, but it is one small step in helping go in the right direction.
Now, with this particular, why the doe harvest challenge? Why not just deer across the board?
Well, we feel like if we shoot a doe, we may get 2 for 1.
Okay, I see where you're going with that.
Pregnant.
Yeah.
But nobody seems to put any emphasis on shooting the does. Most of the hunters are after a buck.
Sure.
That's the way the sport works. I'm not a hunter myself, so I don't have the buck fever. But that's why we try to put the emphasis on the does, because they're eating pretty heavily.
Yeah.
All of them do.
Right. For next year's event, because we're hoping that this continues into next year.
Yes.
How do we make sure that this happens for next year?
We got to check with our lawmakers at the state level, Department of Natural Resources, make sure that no laws have changed make sure we're still going to be able to do this. We've got the support from the public, the farm community, and the farm ag businesses at this point. So we're pretty excited that we can move forward and maybe grow it a little bit. And maybe even add a couple new categories to our prize payouts.
How does the hunter, how does the farmer that's just now hearing about this, how do they get involved to make sure that they're staying on that leading edge of conservation and making sure that their farms stay intact as well?
As far as participating in
Yeah.
the Harvest Challenge, they can contact any of their local farm bureau, county farm bureau for either county that they may be in.
Okay. Is it going to do much good to contact local elected officials?
It would help. It would help. They need to be aware of what we're dealing with. We all complain about crop damage, but we never take the time to show the local officials what the crop damage looks like and what the bottom dollar is and how it affects our wallet. And that's something that we're all guilty of. We need to spend more time with our local officials to show them that.
And it's really going to have to start with the municipality and county elected officials, I would imagine, because there's probably not a lot of folks sitting in Annapolis who understand what it means to have a level of crop damage to the point that we're paying out thousands of dollars for someone to get a doe.
Yeah, they wouldn't understand unless it came out of their pocket.
Right.
Most people do understand when it comes out of their wallet.
Yeah, that's usually when someone actually gets a little bit motivated.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you want to make sure that the people of Delmarva, and I would imagine that this is only a matter of time before it starts to seep its way into the Sussex County area, maybe even Kent County, maybe even as far down as, Accomack County, Northampton County, and the Eastern Shore of Virginia. Is there anything that you want to put out there to those individuals who are saying, you know what, how do we get something like this where we are?
They could contact us at the Wycomico County Farm Bureau or Somerset, Worcester, or Dorchester, and we'd sit down and talk and explain what we've done, and we'd be glad to work with them to help them get started. One thing that a lot of people don't understand on this same topic is our crop insurance adjusters that we have come from different areas of the country tell us that the deer damage in this area is worse than the worst they see anywhere up and down the East Coast.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. So this is going to be a vital turning point for what we are as an agricultural community on Delmarva. We're not just, sand and seashells.
Yeah, yeah. If we don't stand up to this, I don't know where we go from here. We need to be able to raise a crop. We need to be able to make a profit. If we can't do that, then we're going to have to find something else to do for a living.
And a lot of people are going to have a hard time finding food because it starts at the agricultural level.
Yeah.
Because everybody's sitting around during a football weekend eating chicken wings. Where do you think those come from? And those chickens got to eat. So it all starts with the farming and the agricultural side of the house. And I guess if we don't manage this deer population a little better, we're not going to have any of that left.
The chicken industry runs Delmarva. That's our biggest engine for our economy around here, and what feeds them is corn. Mm-hmm. And our operation, our family, about half of the farmland that we till, we can't afford to grow corn on it anymore because of the deer pollution.
Wow.
So we need corn to keep the chicken industry going.
All right. Okay, so obviously we want to make sure that those who are licensed to hunt, those who want to get out there and hunt, that this is an organization, this is an event that you want to put on your calendar, because are we gonna do this again next year for the last weekend again, or we're gonna do this?
That's our plan. To
Okay.
do it the same way.
All right.
That way we don't take anything away from any contest or any hunts in the fall.
Okay.
During the buck season.
All right. So it's already going to be on your calendar. Make sure it's on your calendar again. That this is going to be a very special weekend for you to get out there, and by helping yourself, you really are helping yourself and your neighbors, because it really does stem from the dirt I mean, let's talk about grassroots movements. You got to make sure that we keep everything in check and keep a nice balance here on Delmarva. Steve, thank you, brother.
Appreciate it.